It's Jayo Stole Sports, and we had ourselves a week one in the NFL season. Jay Lynch is here, and we're
Sir,
ready, man. What's happening, my brother?
not much, man. I'm just coming in from the West Coast, actually. Spent some time in BC. I should have took my talents to Seattle, but I didn't have enough time to do that.
Need your
But
help,
yeah, I'm fresh off a vacation, full of energy. Excited about that week one window. I didn't get to watch much football,
right?
but I watched some highlights, and it was quite interesting week one, I would say.
All right, so we had some big performances, but if you had to choose one, what do you think was the most impressive performance from which team?
I would say the Buffalo Bills. I feel like that performance coming back. And we know they're at home, right? They were favorited in that game, or actually they opened up as favorites and then it switched to the Ravens as
It was
favorites.
back and forth.
It was back and forth, just like the game itself.
Yeah.
But it was interesting just because we saw a player like Josh Allen show why he won the MVP. I remember that's a discussion we had uh, last episode about Lamar and Josh Allen. And again, early on, it looked like Lamar and the Ravens were a team that's just miles ahead of any other team in the NFL. But the Bills found a way to get back and win that game at home to start off 1-0. And yeah, that was definitely something I looked at as like, okay, these are the two best teams in the NFL, and then the team that ended up on top and the team that beat them last year in the playoffs ended up on top. So I looked at that as like, okay, the Bills are the top team in the NFL. So I thought that was an important win for them.
Yeah, the Bills looked good. The Bills looked good. Josh Allen, reigning MVP, he showed why he deserved that award. Lamar had a great game. Let's not sleep on Lamar's performance. Lamar balled out. But to end that game, who you putting the blame on? Is it John Harbaugh? Should they have went for it on fourth and three?
Hmm.
Derrick Henry, that costly fumble. If you had to choose, like, who is at fault for that loss? Because the Bills did not win that game.
Hmm.
Ravens lost that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one on Harbaugh for sure because you could see like he shied away from how aggressive he was being throughout the game, and then when things got in a pressurized moment, he crumbled under the pressure, right? He called that sweep with Zay Flowers very conservative, fumbles happen, things happen in the game, right? But I felt like they should have went for it on fourth and three, knowing that this team couldn't stop them all game. So you think 3 yards will stop them? So I thought they should have go one with it, either put it in Lamar's hand or Derrick Henry, or no, honestly, just put it in Lamar's hand. He'll figure it out at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's on Harbaugh. And at the end of the day, Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. Like that's a one-off. We don't see him fumbling like that. So, you get your fumble and take it at the start of the season. At the
Hmm.
end of the season is not when you want to see that. But yeah, John Harbaugh, he needs to do better. And yeah, let's talk about some teams that we had high hopes for and they lost in week one. Want to know if they are regressing or is it just a early season L and they can bounce back? So let's start off with the Kansas City Chiefs. They took a L to the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert was cooking up. That's the most emotion I've ever seen from Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
In for the first down.
Yeah.
Bro,
Swaggy with it. Yeah.
Swaggy
Yeah.
had the ball like it was a finger roll he was about
Yeah.
to do. He's dealing with Madison Beer. He's turned up right now. He's turned up in LA. He got his boy back, Keenan Allen. He
Yeah.
still has trust in Quentin Johnston. 2 touchdowns. This guy got the game ball at the end of the game. So Justin Herbert, he showed that they possibly can win the AFC West, but we want to know about the Kansas City Chiefs, the AFC, the the former, the reigning AFC champions. Do you think they're regressing, or do you think this is just early division football? They just ended up on the wrong side of the win-loss column.
Yeah, this one's interesting, right? Because we see this with the Chiefs every year almost, right? They don't look the greatest in the regular season, but eventually they kind of pull it together. But taking a divisional L in week one, like these divisional games are important down the road, right? And we're seeing a division that's getting much better. Okay,
Yeah.
the Chiefs are last place in the division. We've never seen that in probably in a decade, right? And they're dead last. Everyone in Division One, the Vegas got a win, Chargers got a win against the Chiefs, and Denver won as well. So again, it's these games are important. And when they have a first place schedule and they have to play a team like the Eagles, a rematch of the Super Bowl in week two, I think this is going to be a regression year for the Chiefs. I think Travis Kelsey, he did play a decent game, but again, he can't do it for 17 weeks. And we now see Xavier Worthy, right, with the injury, right? He'll be out a week or two, and they don't get Rashid Rice back until week six, I believe, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Mahomes looked good, right? He was doing
Yeah, yeah.
everything. He put the team on his back, and he wasn't able to pull it off in the end. But I don't know. Maybe they need to make a move. Maybe they need to call someone in Miami and get a get a former animal back in the red and yellow.
Is that Tyreek we're hearing?
Hey man.
We heard some stuff, but I just don't think. I know Travis Kelsey got a touchdown, but only two receptions. And he just
Yeah.
doesn't seem up to speed. Injuring your fastest player, your deep threat.
Hey
So
man, Xavier Worthy shouldn't talk about his fiance like that, man.
last year was Mahomes injuring Rasheed Rice. This year
Yeah.
is Kelsey injuring Xavier Worthy. What's going on with the Chiefs? I'm on board with you. I believe it is a regression year. I picked the Broncos to win the division. I'm not, we'll see. I'll give it to like week four, week five. If Justin Herbert and the Chargers continue
Yeah.
like that, I might change my mind
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the way they played, Justin Herbert, three touchdowns. Derwin James was playing like an absolute animal. So Jim Harbaugh always gonna have a good team, well coached, and he's bold. Look at that. Najee Harris barely getting any touches. Omar, he's going with Hampton, the rookie. And
Hmm.
Jim Harbaugh does that. Jim Harbaugh is not scared. And yeah, this is going to be a very interesting division, AFC West. Another team, good team, that took an L. We just spoke about it to start off the show. The Baltimore Ravens, giving up 41 points. Do you see them regressing this season?
No, again, like that game was again a tale of two halves almost, right? Because we saw the first half or the first three quarters just outright domination by this Ravens team. They looked unstoppable. We saw a one-handed catch by Hopkins. Zay Flowers said, "Man, if they had me during that playoffs game, it would have been a different story." And Henry just doing what Henry does, right? So I think this Ravens team, we're going to see a big bounce back performance in week two. I think they're going to be home. It's going to be the home opener against the Browns. I think they blow out the Browns by 30 this week. So I think no regression in this team. This
Yeah.
team is destined for the Super Bowl, but they had to get through Josh Allen and they had to get through Mahomes. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. I see no regression. The only thing I have to say, we saw it last year. Their pass defense was atrocious, and it took Zach or the DC some time to get it together. And towards the end of the season, they're one of the best in the whole entire NFL when it came to pass defense. But again, I think they're running into the same problem. They got two new guys, Malachi Starks and Jair Alexander,
mhm,
and they didn't, it doesn't seem like he implemented them in the right positions. It doesn't seem like they had any chemistry with the other guys. Jair just getting cooked, like left, right, and center. It was an embarrassing debut for Jair Alexander. And again, rookies are rookies, right? So Malachi Starks, when we saw him, it's not like he made any splash plays. They gave up a lot of points, but that offense, Lamar Jackson running, throwing, Derrick Henry, truck sticking guys. And Hopkins is going to be there. He's not the number one, but he's going to be there to make those plays. Zay Flowers looking like a beast. And again,
mhm,
we can say the reason Zay Flowers didn't play last season in the playoffs is because of John Harbaugh.
mhm,
Last week, last regular season game, No need to play him. You're already in the playoffs.
Yeah,
John Harbaugh plays him. Zay Flowers is out for the playoffs. So John Harbaugh, people are really gonna need to take in John Harbaugh and his decisions because with a team with talent like this, you gotta win. So we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about quarterbacks in their debuts. 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns in his Pittsburgh Steelers debut against his former team, the New York Jets. What a game.
what a game. Yeah. Yeah, this one I didn't know which way it would go, right? And I was shocked by how high scoring it was. I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect Fields to have that type of performance. And Aaron Rodgers, I did not expect 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So, man, that is very surprising. But again, I think this Pittsburgh's team again we're here again where they're going to be a team that's over 500, a team that's competing for that division, and a team that could possibly make playoffs as well with Aaron Rodgers. So very interesting performance. Can they keep it going? I think so because the defense didn't play too well, right? We saw a defense that almost let Fields. I mean, the Jets have 30 points and win the game. They almost could have won that game outright for sure. So I think the Steelers and that defense, if they could protect Aaron Rodgers, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, the way that Justin Fields played, though, you have to give him credit also. Aaron Rodgers, obviously the player of the game, but Justin Fields looked comfortable out there. You saw him with rolling out. You want to see him on the move. He's making those throws. He targeted 9 times his former teammate, Garrett Wilson, got a touchdown with him. Garrett Wilson, unfortunately, couldn't move the chains at the end of the game. Got popped by Jalen Ramsey. They were barking at each other all game. Jalen Ramsey got the better of that matchup. Looking like a top 5 quarterback, Jalen
Hey
Ramsey.
man, that was another headline that surprised me as well, man. Jalen
Yeah,
Ramsey, he's still a guy. He's still
yeah,
a guy at the end of the day.
yeah.
Journeyman, but still a guy, man. Making plays better than half these corners out here.
Yeah. So Justin Fields, I have to give him credit. We want to obviously see this week in, week out. But to start off the season, that is very impressive. And I'm sure fantasy owners are very happy to have him on their team. I want to talk about the Monday Nighter rookie head coach and new starting quarterback, Ben Johnson for the Chicago Bears and JJ McCarthy for the Minnesota Vikings. I look at it like this. Do you believe in Caleb Williams? Because to start off the game, he was looking like the man. But we all know play callers have that script. First 10 plays, first 20 plays, all scripted. But once it gets into the second half, when there's more pressure, it's going to be more on your quarterback. And Caleb didn't look like the first half, Caleb in the second half. What do you think is the problem with Caleb Williams? Because I think he's just stuck in his ways. I don't see it changing. Do you think Ben Johnson's going to stick with this guy, or do you see some frustration brewing between the two?
Yeah, I see frustration brewing, 100%. It's just like you mentioned, right? As soon as Caleb Williams goes off script, it's a recipe for disaster. He's throwing the ball, he's running, you don't know his O-line doesn't know what he's doing. That's why it's hard to protect him. They invested in their O-line and it looks like their O-line was terrible, but it's not that. It's more so Caleb's just too frantic. So we don't know what he's gonna do. And he's just throwing the ball. He's almost getting DJ Moore hurt. Like he's too sporadic and it's tough for a guy like Ben Johnson who was with a guy like Jared Goff who's very scripted, very disciplined. You're gonna tell him what to do, he's gonna do it, right? I just don't think this one's gonna work out in terms of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. But I don't know. It's gonna be a tough season for Ben Johnson, having to coach up Caleb, and it doesn't get any better. They have to go. Ben Johnson's going back into Detroit. It's gonna be a hostile environment for him. Detroit coming off a L as well. They're gonna want that win, right? And you know the media is already getting after Dan Campbell in terms of the OC and the troubles they're having with the play calling. There wasn't enough motion. I think the Lions are going to come back and they're going to be hungry. And then an 0-2 start for the Chicago Bears. That's not a good recipe for a new coach and a second year quarterback.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy, though, he didn't have the greatest first three quarters, and he's a rookie. Like he's in a sophomore season, but he didn't play all of last season. But to see what he did in that fourth quarter, that's what you want to see. You want to see a guy that wants to win.
Hmm.
And if he's not getting the job done throwing it, he's gonna run it. And he did what he was supposed to do. Obviously, he got Jetta as a touchdown there,
Yeah,
but
that was big for fantasy owners for sure.
I play any tie also. But no, he just showed that he wanted it. And that's a national champion. That's that heart
Hmm.
that they have, right? And I'm sure
Yeah.
that's a main reason why they're like, you know what, Sam Darnold, we're okay to let you go. We got a young bull in JJ McCarthy. He's gonna get the job done. That was an impressive way to end the game.
Yeah, I agree. Again, he didn't look great to begin the game, and again, it's almost like they made the wrong decision letting Sam Darnold go. But again, they pulled off the win. We saw how happy Kevin O'Connell was to get that win and see him get into the end zone and turn it around. So they're going to rally for the quarterback, right? So, and he has that spirit, and you know he wants it, right? Coming from Michigan, he's disciplined, he's driven, he's gonna want to will his team to get victories. So it'll be very interesting. But I don't know, I'm not a believer yet. I
Huh?
need to see more,
Huh?
because his quarterback play wasn't too good until the game became
Right.
unscripted, and he was able to get some fortunate on his side.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a pass. His first game, and he finished it. So I look at it like he's on the road. It's never easy to have your first
Yeah,
game on the
Chicago.
road, get your
Yeah.
win. So I'm gonna give him credit. We'll see what he does next week against the Falcons. That's gonna be another primetime game. So yeah,
Rematch of the NCAA College Championship.
yeah.
Yeah, Penix and JJ.
Yeah. So we'll see if Penix could avenge that loss. But his first two games on primetime, all eyes are gonna be on him. Got to talk about the NFC North matchup that happened in week one. Michael Parsons in his debut with the Packers against the Lions. We both had Lions on this.
Yeah.
Packers looked like the more disciplined team. Packers almost looked like it was an NFC Championship game. They were so up for this game. Lions weren't really, they just, things just didn't seem to work. Pieces didn't seem to fit in the puzzle.
Hmm.
But do you still have the Lions? Even though they took that L, do you still have the Lions as the team to beat, the best team in that division? Or do you think this win meant volumes for the Packers and they're the top team now?
Well, again, we have a Thursday night game with the Packers, which will again tell another story in terms of who the Packers really are. I think the Lions, with so much change that occurred with the coaching staff, did have some effect to them. But I think they have too much talent for them to regress so much, right? I think the division will be a tough one to win again. Teams like the Packers are getting better. Vikings look like they're still going to be a team that competes. The Bears will compete as well, but this Packers team, again, if they dominate the Commanders tonight in Thursday Night Football and they go 2-0, that just increases the pressure for this Lions team in a must-win situation where they have to beat this Bears team because on deck they have the Baltimore Ravens,
Yeah. The
right? So,
yeah, Makai, he looked well. He played a good game. He got a sack. Um, Jared Goff came on at the end, but the game was already over. So we'll see how the Packers do against obviously a much more mobile quarterback in Jaden Daniels. And yeah, the Lions, let's see if they have a bounce back against Caleb Williams. I'm sure they're going to be chomping at the bit to get after him. But let's get into the week two predictions. You know, we do this every week. We got our predictions. Let's start off with a divisional game. Go with the MVP and Josh Allen, headed to the Meadowlands against Justin Fields and the New York Jets.
Divisional games, it's always interesting. Jets look better than expected, but that defense let up a lot of points to a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So if
41.
that's the case, 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So what will a guy, reigning MVP Josh Allen, do to that defense? So that's what kind of concerns me with that. I think the Jets, again, uh, Brees Hall. If they were able to be effective against the Steelers defense, I think they could move the ball against this Bills defense as well, right? So we saw what the Ravens were able to do. So I think it will be a close affair, but I think the Buffalo Bills will win. But I think Jets end up covering the spread.
If there's one team that Josh Allen struggles against, especially in this division, it is the New York Jets. You remember last year, Aaron Rodgers injured first play, second play of the game, and the Bills still lost that game on
Yeah.
Monday night. So this is not going to be an easy game. Both defenses didn't look great, gave up a whole bunch of points. I'm actually going to go with the upset on this. I,
Mm,
I I got Justin Fields having another good game. I think that he finds not only does he find Garrett Wilson, but he gets Brees Hall involved in the passing game a little
yeah.
bit more also. We know what Brees Hall could do on the ground, but he finds him in the passing game. So I'm gonna go with Justin Fields and the Jets by a field goal.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are on the Jets this week, so it'll be interesting, man, especially in a Survivor and in betting world. So very interesting pick there.
So let's go to two 1-0 teams. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're
Mm,
headed to Cincinnati. Again, another rematch, another national championship rematch. Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Burrow. One thing you have to realize, Brian Thomas Jr. only one reception. Travis Hunter, six receptions. Is should we think anything after that week one? Because Brian Thomas Jr. clearly a better receiver than Travis Hunter,
yeah.
but he wasn't really finding him. Should BTJ be worried that Travis Hunter is gonna get more targets? Or do you think that was just a one-off? Because I remember there's been games where, as we've seen, AJ Brown getting one
One
reception,
reception, yeah.
Jalen Hurts sh- probably pump the brakes on that, or how do you view that?
Yeah, I think that's more so just Liam Cohen. Like he is still trying to figure out how he wants to use Travis Hunter. There's been a lot of talk about, oh, he might get more reps at cornerback this week as well. So I don't know what that means. Like Travis Hunter is such a question mark that it's hard in terms of fantasy wise, wanting to start him. Um, Also with Brian Thomas, like how's that much going to affect him in terms of target? So it's going to be interesting. I think it'll vary week to week, especially if he's getting more reps at corner. But I do think in this game, I think if Jamar Chase is going up against Travis Hunter, I think that's a recipe for disaster for the Jags. I don't think they want that matchup. So in this game, I do like the Bengals. I think at home, I know they didn't look too good, especially Joe Burrow didn't look too good against the Cleveland Browns. But again, divisional matchups and the Bengals usually start slow. But I think this game, and Jamar Chase didn't have a big game either. I think
Good
this game
questions.
yeah, I think in this game we're going to see what this offense is capable of. We could possibly see a shootout. But again, that Jags game against the Panthers, it was weird because they had the delay, and the Panthers did not look good at all.
Yeah. No, I don't know how the Bengals won that game. They
Yeah,
gained no yards. I don't know how much yards they gained in the second half. It was barely anything.
yeah, it was
So,
weird.
yeah, it was both games were a bit weird. You don't see Jamar Chase with two catches. And again, as I mentioned, BTJ only had one catch. He did get a rushing touchdown, so
Yeah.
I'll take that. but I need more, especially since he's a main receiver for me on fantasy. But very intrigued for this game. I think I'm on the upsets this week, man.
Yeah. Okay.
On the
I like
upsets,
that. I like that.
I'm on the upsets this week. I'm gonna go with the Jags in this. I think it's a shootout. I think
Hmm.
we could see this game in the 30s. And yeah, I think one of the better games to watch this week. Let's go to the NFC North. We've been talking about this team a lot this show. Chicago Bears going to the Detroit Lions. The Apprentice is facing the Master, Ben Johnson facing Dan Campbell. How do you see this game playing out?
Like I said, I feel like it's hard to say a must-win game this early in the season. But the Lions being a team that what they want destined to be, with them being a team that wants to go to the Super Bowl, they have to win a game like this, right? And again, who knows? If Packers are 2-0, that even increases the pressure on them. They can't start 0-2
Uh,
with a team like the Packers going 2-0. So I think it's a big moment for Dan Campbell, big moment for Ben Johnson as well coming back home. It's gonna be a very hostile environment. I don't know. This is a tough one, but I think the Lions bounce back. I think they're going to be very upset about that division loss, and they're not going to lose two games in a row in the division like that. So I think the Lions win this one, and the Bears are going to have to figure out some things.
yeah, I got the Lions also. The Bears were picked to come last in the division. So them going on to that's it's not gonna be a big deal. It's not gonna be a
Mhm.
shocker.
New
Yeah,
coach, yeah, come
yeah,
on.
new coach. Dan Campbell knows what he has to do in this situation. He has to get a win here. I see the running game gets involved. The running game wasn't good last week. I think Gibbs and Montgomery take over the game, and then that's where you get Jared Goff comfortable in the pocket, bit more accurate, finds his guys. So yeah, I got the Lions winning this game. Next one, Super Bowl rematch. The Eagles with Jalen Carter facing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
How do you see this one going?
yeah, it's crazy that one didn't make our headline segment, but yeah, interesting. He served that one game and he's
Yeah,
back in this one, which is a huge uh, difference for the Eagles. Them stopping the run. They had some trouble against the Cowboys with Jalen Carter out, so I think this is a big boost for them on the defensive side of things. Um, and I like the Eagles in this one. I know the Chiefs back against the wall, but again, I think it's fine if the Chiefs go 0-2. They're gonna find a way to win games. They're gonna find a way to get in playoffs regardless. I just think this Eagles team is better on paper. Um, they went in and traded for Tank Bigsby from the Jags to back up Saquon because their backup running back wasn't cutting it, Will Shipley. So
yeah,
again, it's smart. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that Saquon is healthy when it's big games and down the stretch. So that will help relieve some of that pressure on Saquon. AJ Brown's probably gonna get busy this game.
for
Knowing
sure.
coming one reception, it's fine. They could be a multifaceted team, right? They could run the ball. It could be a Jalen Hurts game, or the receivers, Batman and Robin, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith can get active. So I like the Eagles in this one. I know it's in Arrowhead, but I think the Eagles, knowing that they beat them in the Super Bowl, they want to close that door shut, saying, "No, we're just a better team." Simple as that.
Yeah, I got Eagles. Jalen Carter there. I think they just get after Mahomes. I don't see the Chiefs being able to go over 40, 50 yards on the ground.
Mm,
I think the Eagles just too good. Jalen Hurts going to dominate the clock, keep Patrick Mahomes on the bench. You mentioned it.
yeah.
Just a better team, better receivers, better run game. Every single time Mahomes and Hurts have played, Hurts has had the better game. So yeah, I got the Eagles in this. They go 2-0 and the Chiefs go 0-2. Let's go to the Sunday nighter, the Minnesota Vikings against the Atlanta Falcons. It seems like Drake London is going to be okay for this game. He had an injury there and he was they're unsure if he was going to play. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this game? Who's gonna come out on top?
Yeah, I think Falcons were unlucky not to, I guess, bring that game to overtime against Tampa Bay.
Falcons.
Yeah, Young Wei Koo, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's always the Falcons, they always make it difficult. So it's all every time I'm on the side of the Falcons, they never come through for me. So again, unfortunately, I'm on the side of the Falcons in this game as well. I think they at least cover the
Cut
spread,
has heart.
but I had to pick the Falcons in this one. But yeah, I don't know.
There's no
Uh,
way I'm doing. There's no way. There's no way I'm doing Falcons, bro. You could never go for them 2 weeks in a row. That's criminal.
yeah,
There's
it's
no
true.
chance. And how's this guy still on the team? Cool. Him and Arthur Blank must be tight because this
Yeah,
guy is missing kicks now.
yeah, it's crazy.
I think that Brian Flores puts together a good game plan on MPJ. And
Mm.
again, I think that Aaron Jones he's one of those running backs you need for like a rookie quarterback or a second year quarterback because he can get busy on the ground and then you can toss it out to him in the backfield and he can get you first downs on a regular basis. And it doesn't hurt when you have arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. So I think JJ McCarthy gets a lot more help and he starts off a little bit better. I don't think he's going to start getting to his game in the fourth quarter, maybe the second, maybe the third, but I think he starts off playing better earlier in this game. I got the Vikings. Last one, let's go quick on this. Raiders, Chargers. Give me a team.
I'm going with the Raiders in this one. Yeah,
All right, I got the Chargers, and that's it. Jayo stole sports. Jay Lynch came through. Subscribe, tell a
come
friend,
on,
comment. You already
let's
know.
go. Week 2.